Whether you live on a houseboat or are just enjoying a weekend away along the River Murray, houseboats produce 3 types of waste, including toilet waste, grey water, and garbage. It's very important that waste is disposed of correctly at any of the waste disposal stations located along the River Murray. If done incorrectly and the waste is flushed into the river, it can cause real damage to our water supply and cause big problems such as infectious diseases. To ensure we keep the water quality good within the Murray-Darling Basin as a whole, we need to ensure that when you remove wastewater from a houseboat, it's done correctly. Along the River Murray in South Australia, there are 13 houseboat waste disposal stations, which includes both water and waste disposal. You will find them scattered along the river from Goolwa near the Murray mouth, right up to Lock 6, only 50 kilometres from the New South Wales border. Here's some handy tips on how to do it properly. There are 3 main factors that can affect the way you dock at a disposal station. That includes the current, wind, and eddy current. Do not approach the station front on. Follow these steps to dock safely and correctly. Before approaching a station, stop in the middle of the river with the motor in neutral and see which way you drift. Start your approach to the station. When you are about 100 metres from the guide pile, slow down so that you are making little headway, and check the combined effects of wind and current on your vessel. Edge your vessel sideways to the station. Gently touch the front corner of the vessel to the forward pile or pile structure and tie up. Allow the vessel to drift back side on, or pull it back with the motor and tie up. Secure your vessel fore and aft. A good rule of thumb is to determine if the wind or current is stronger. Berthing will be easier if you drive into the strongest of the 2. If winds are blowing onto the station, your approach can be made like so. For winds blowing off the station, let the current and motor push the vessel onto the guide pile. Adjust the vessel's position so that the hose connection can be made. If your connection is on the other side of the vessel, don't worry, both hoses are long enough. Once you have docked the houseboat safely, there are several key elements you'll be faced with on the pontoon. A sewage suction hose, which we will refer to as hose A. A fresh water hose, which we will refer to as hose B. A hose coupling, with opening A and opening B. A green start and red stop button. 3 valves, one fixed on the end of hose A, one located on the reel frame of hose B, and one fixed on the end of hose B. And your own vessel's sewage tank connections, the sewage connection and the freshwater connection. Step 1. To ensure that the sewage suction hose, hose A, is clear of blockages from the previous user, you must flush it with fresh water. First, fully unroll hose A neatly onto the pontoon. Then, connect hose A to the coupling opening A mounted on the railing. Next, pull hose B out of its reel and connect it to the other end of the coupling opening B. Open the valve located on the end of hose A, and open the valve on the end of hose B. Then, open the valve on the reel frame of hose B. Water will now start to flow into the hoses. Now both valves are open, move to the Start-Stop button and press the green Start button to start the suction pump. Be patient, as there could be a short 10 to 30 second delay before the pump starts. Once the pump is started, let it run for at least 1 minute. After 1 minute, stop the pump by pressing the red stop button. You can now close off the 3 valves. First, the valve located on the hose B reel. Then, the valve at the end of hose B. Then the valve on the end of hose A. Disconnect hose B from the coupling. and reel back in so it's safely out of the way. Disconnect hose A from the coupling and place it on the pontoon, ready for the next step. Step 2. Once you have completed step 1, you can now move on to removing the sewage from your own vessel. First, make sure hose A is fully unrolled. Locate your vessel's sewage tank connection and proceed to connect hose A and hose B to your connections. Once secured tightly, open the valve on the end of hose A. Now, you are ready to start the sewage removal. Move to the Start-Stop button and press the green Start button to start the suction pump. Be patient, as there will be a short 10 to 30 second delay before the pump starts. You will notice a clear window section on hose A. Once the pump is operating, the waste will be visible through the hose window. It may take up to a minute before a steady flow of waste is visible through the hose window. The pump will stop itself after 10 minutes. Importantly, make sure that hose A is supervised at all times while the pump is working. As soon as you don't see any more waste flowing through the clear window section of hose A and it stops bubbling, open the valve at the end of hose B. Then, open the valve on the side reel of hose B. The fresh water will help to push the solids that might have been left at the bottom of the tank to be sucked by hose A. As soon as you don't see any more waste flowing and the pump stops bubbling, stop the pump by pressing the red stop button. Continuing to pump your vessel's tank after it has been emptied will cause damage. However, if waste was still visible through the clear window section when the pumping stopped, more pumping is required. You can proceed to press the green Start button again to restart the pumping process. Continue to supervise hose A again so you can stop the pumping when no more flowing waste is visible through the clear window section. Once pumping is stopped by pressing the red stop button and the pump has shut off, close off both valves. Disconnect both hoses and neatly place them back on the pontoon. You will now repeat the same process used in step 1, flushing the sewage hose to clear any possible blockages. Once you're all finished, give your hands a good wash. You can also dispose of your general waste while you're here. On the upper ground section of the waste disposal station, at the top of the ramp, you will find appropriately labelled bins for recycling and rubbish. Please choose correctly. If you're having problems, phone our hotline for further assistance. Improper use or equipment breakages may incur fines, so please follow the instructions carefully. Head to our website for more information.